So this is going to be a boring trip for some people. Some people may like it. Anybody just wants to jump on and just see the views. Phone is in a cradle, so it's physically stuck, so to speak, to the car. Today is a Thursday. Hey Siri, what is today's date?
It's Thursday the 28th of October, 2021.
Hey Siri, what is the temperature?
It's 18 degrees right now.
Hey Siri, what does the temperature feel like?
It currently feels like 17 degrees.
So I've got some spare bandwidth to get rid of, so we'll give this a try. So as the title says, we're in Clarkson, going to go to King's Carnival in Horsehead. King's Carnival has graced on at this time of year, or coming up. We've been invited to go down to take a sneak peek, and also been invited back possibly Saturday night for when it's actually on. We're invited to a scare attraction, a charity one in Greenfield, so fingers crossed we're going to get the sneak peek. We're going to get a look at, I think it's Scare Factory, and then Saturday we're going to be going back for Screamfest as well. We're heading towards the Mitchell Freeway. Currently the Mitchell Freeway furthest point north is Clarkson or Hester Avenue. Currently on my iPhone 11 Pro, which was my old phone, tethered for the internet to the current phone, which is an iPhone 12 Pro. So hopefully we don't lose any signals. If we don't, thank you Vodafone. Just put in another $15 worth of petrol for this car at least, because it runs on premium. I'm a cheap ass man, so we actually use 98, not 95. And it up to $1.87 per litre. Just about to turn onto the Mitchell Freeway. Can't think what this street's actually. Okay, speed limit on the freeway is 100 kilometers an hour. They also have a law where I think it's over 95 kilometers an hour, cars are supposed to keep left, which will rarely happen. Shout out to my wife Sharon, Spooky Ghost. Shout out to Drunk Dunk. Shout out to Dave, Bad Q Garage. Shout out to Peter. I think it's Mopar 727 or 727 Mopar. Shout out to Margaret if you're listening. Shout out to Train Tiac. There goes the train anyway. Just going past Burns Beach Road, which anybody who sort of knows the area, that's where basically Currumbine train station is. It's a bit bouncy on the old live. Jesus, what lane are you in, dude? Currently, WA has no COVID cases. Life is 99.9% normal. We pretty much get up and do our own thing. Still have the odd person wearing masks, still have respect on social distancing to a certain degree, but if you go to an event, a car show, an amusement ride scenario, a fair, markets, it's free for all. Okay, coming up to Joondalup. This drive to King's Carnival, I believe was going to be about an hour and a half. So, geez, that's a bit wobbly, you know. On FaceTime, it's very smooth. Just turn the air conditioner onto the dash a bit more. In case the phone's getting a bit warm. So we'll be going on the Mitchell Freeway and then basically at Perth CBD. It's the same road but it turns into the Kwinana Freeway. They're extending the Mitchell Freeway along here to 4 lanes of traffic. It's currently only 2. They've taken up, which we're driving in, which is sort of the orangey colour road, which was the emergency stopping lane. Let's make that back into a usable lane as well at the moment. Serious, what is the time?
It's 1:59 p.m.
So to the left is Edgewater, I think classes as very edges of between Edgewater and Joondalup. To the right is Heathridge. The ocean's probably 15 minutes drive to the right of the camera. Generally West Australia, they build their, or they subdivide their land north-south rather than going east. There is some towards the east, but it normally stretches up and down the coastline, so the beach is only 15 minutes away from most people. train station there is Edgewater station. Sadly, they're doing all this road works, and the chances are as soon as it gets open, we'll still be getting bottlenecking and crawling traffic. Especially on the way home from work, people just don't seem to want to get home. They just follow the car in front and follow the car in front, and everybody then starts doing 70 kilometres an hour rather than 100. Currently done 13 kilometres from Clarkson. Anybody else around the world, you may see cars that look familiar, they may have silly little names or stupid names. One car that I know the Americans get funny over is the Miata, which I think is a silly name. The Mazda MX-5, which is known here in Australia and Japan, that sounds like a more ballsy type of name. Coming up to Whitford Station. Sadly, on the right hand side of the road heading north, it's about the location the young girl died on a charity bike ride, as a motorbike ride. Collecting toys and things for your kids and that in the hospital on that. There's a train on the right, I think that's classed as an Emu B. Has a, I don't know, well, I'm not a train person, but a drive engine front and back and a carriage in between, and then it has two sets of trains joined together to give you 6 carriages total. Where they caught the train to Mandurah, it was the same amount of time, about an hour and a half. Wouldn't have cost me any money. But the downside is where I need to go is then further on from the train station. About 20 minutes by push bike, I've done that a few times. But as I'm going to Greenfields as well, it's more advantageous to take the car. So we just would have gone past Greenwood train station. I think it's funny, there's a billboard on the left that advertises and changes, and yet when you drive you're not supposed to have distractions. That'd be one of the biggest distractions. Big shout out also to anybody that's supporting the channel. We're almost at 2,500 subscribers. Our alternate channels is at 620 subscribers. Train station in the middle of the Mitchell Freeway there. It's a word that some people can't get their tongue around, and that's Carnival. It's a semi-affluent suburb. As I said, West Australia generally grows north-south for suburbs, not necessarily to the east. I think Ellenbrook's a newer, even though it's now old, a newer suburb to the east. Geez, that truck's right up his bum, isn't it? But I believe the train's making its way out there to make life easier out that way. Okay, we're now, where are we? Balcatta, that's to the left, because we're heading south. Many years ago I used to work for Telecom that became Telstra. When I first started, that's where I was based, was Balcatta. West Australia has no tolls on anywhere that you travel. We do have various types of speed detecting cameras. In fact, on the left hand side coming up is a fixed speed camera. I don't know if you'll be able to see it between the trucks. Black and white pole basically is where it is. We also have the Alice, which is a portable wedge-shaped trailer that gets dropped places, and we have also the locals called the D-Max. So it's a D-Max pickup truck with a canopy, fiberglass canopy, and they park on the side of the road with the speed cameras hanging out the back. Okay, so we're just going to go under Carrinup Road. And we're coming up to the Stirling train station. Stirling train station. Somebody that I knew, not very well. I knew his brother, and I know his older brother now. But Philip Walsham was killed, and still very sad to this day. It was proved that he was killed. It wasn't an accidental fall or anything like that. On the right is Osborne Park, well, right and the left. Right side's the industrial section. Left is more residential. is also Hutton Street turnoff. When my family came to Australia in 1981, this was the furthest north the freeway went. This was all sand. In actual fact, where we've just gone under was a swamp originally. And for many years, the road was that bouncy that lowered cars would gouge the crap out of their car and also the road. So they end up putting big mounds of sand in both sides to help compress down and push back up the road, which then I think they re-layered. This has all been widened since we came out here. Used to be just 2 lanes. Coming up to Glendalough train station, which when they first electrified the trains, for some reason it was Glendalough. Get some nice view of Perth CBD going round this corner. Nice day. Had some rains and winds for the last few days. Luckily, Perth doesn't have huge monstrosity skyscrapers. It's got a few, but not a lot really. Not compared to some cities in the world. On the right hand side is... oh, rain's gone dead. Oh, I forgot what it's called now. Lake Munga, which I didn't know till recently, has quite a few tragic deaths associated with it. It's only really like a large pond, but yeah. Left hand side would be Leederville. Train station. Left-hand lanes you would take for East Perth or Graham Farmer Freeway, which is I guess a tunnel road. Again, no tolls, not like some countries that charge you for bloody everything. See the blue building on the left, that's the Perth Arena, our local main entertainment destination for art. Okay, are we back? Lost signal through there. Kings Park's on the right. Going over the Narrows Bridge, I think this is, which has been extended. It used to be 2 lanes. They've doubled the bridge up now. On the left's another landmark of West Australia. Been around for, I don't know, donkey years, which is the windmill. Okay, now we're getting to bottlenecking. Oh, maybe not. This is South Perth. This is where the zoo is. Have to merge. The train going past, maybe the one we saw before, as the train runs from Butler to Mandurah. It also runs from Fremantle to Midland, so that's east, west, we've got north and south. And Armidale line runs separately from Perth to Armidale. Forney line, which is mostly part of Midland line, Armidale line, runs Perth to Forney as well. And they are currently building, I believe, the Ellenbrook line, which will go via the airport as well. So we're doing 70 kilometres in an 100 kilometre zone. There's another fixed speed camera up here on the left somewhere. Never can see it, but Siri's usually, when I'm GPSing, will say it's there. We're also going to be going past the Pagoda Ballroom, another landmark. And we've still got about another hour's drive. Now I don't come this way that much by public transport, so it's going to be a hit and miss on the train stations as we get this far. As I said, lovely day. Hey Siri, what is the temperature? Still 18 degrees apparently according to Siri's. A lot of these properties along here are being redeveloped. Some we have videoed. So to the right would have been back in the day. Oh geez, I'm having a blank day today. Jeez, it's gone. It'll come back when I don't want it to, like everything. It's one of the things when you don't go to pubs and gigs and stuff like that. Those houses are still standing. Some a group of houses that we videoed probably 10 months ago maybe. They're still standing at the moment. There's a Tesla. We're seeing more and more Teslas on the road here in West Australia. I was privileged to be given a test drive by a guy called Dave. Never knew him. Gave me all the updates on one. So if you want an unbiased look at a Tesla Model 3, I think he had, or it was a Model S. That's in our videos. Coming up to Mount Henry Bridge. We only had that small bit of bottlenecking when we just crossed over into South Perth. Let's see what train station this is as we go past. Bull Creek. The northern suburbs. Brought up person, I guess. When we moved to Australia, we moved into originally Warwick, then we bought a house in Craigie, and I met my wife, and to a certain extent, the furthest south we ever lived was Wembley. Lived in the complex right next to the Hertzman Parade Hotel, and since then we've lived northern suburbs, so Heathridge, Craigie, Wanneroo, Clarkson, Kingsway Caravan Park, Balcatta. I believe on the right is Fiona Stanley Hospital. Yeah. Australia is a really open place. That's why you see these memes just down the road. It can be like 3 hours worth of driving. I've been on the same stretch of road for probably almost half an hour, averaging 100 kilometres an hour. You have your suburbs with little tight turns and everything else, but generally, at least West Australia has open roads to get from one place to the other. You don't have to go through towns and counties and all those lovely things, or detour out of your way to get somewhere. As I said, most of West Australia is, at least the metropolitan area, is north to south. So like the freeway runs from Mitchell Freeway, Queenlander Freeway, so Clarkson to, I think it even goes on to Bunbury in reality if you want to go down that far. believe, if I'm in the right area, that we might start seeing an aeroplane in the air, because we're near Jandakop's airport, which is just more of a, I class it as a hobbyist type of airport. It is used, I believe the police helicopter is stationed down here. So we're down to 80 kilometres an hour for roadworks. So more bottlenecking. Berwick Drive. So for those that know the area or have a rough idea of the area, we're sort of in the Kwinana heading towards Rockingham area at the moment. So if you did a left there and followed that along, you'd come to a number of the houses we recently videoed that were being demolished, or have been demolished now. Sadly, West Australia at least. I always say at least because I only know, I only like speaking or will speak about stuff that I do know or have an idea of. Used to have basically like quarter acre block of the houses, some had half acre blocks, nice decent blocks. Now they're getting smaller and smaller, and redevelopment places are snapping up the ones with the bigger blocks and buying the house next door and taking two houses and turn it into like 6 units and things like that. Even newer suburbs, well, I class them as new because I saw that they were soil and dirt, and they got turned into suburbs and houses, and so like Kingsley and Craigie and Woodvale, you're all seeing these houses being snapped up and knocked down and being redeveloped. Coburn Central Train Station. So I had to come there to pick this car up. That was 2.5 years ago, I think. An absolute bargain, even still to this day. My wife and I love this car. You don't get much for your money these days, but we've nicknamed her Maz, and 2.5 years ago we paid $900 for her, and in that 2.5 years we've only invested probably not even $400, and we've done nearly 40,000 kilometres in her. Just had to do the back brakes the other day. Left lane can only turn left. Russell Road, Gibbs Road, Rowley Road. As I said at the start of the video, we've been invited to King's Carnival to check out, well, a pretty sneak peek of Screamfest. We've been invited back to the actual event. While we're down here, we're looking at I think it's Scare Factory. That's a charity scare attraction. Coming back again on Saturday. I'm going to try and get some Halloween displays if we can on video like we did last year. The car in front has a blue number plate. Now they've dropped the P, but they used to have a like a yellowy orange P at the end. They're personalised plates. I don't know what the cost is these days, but it used to be $50. So if they were available, you got 3 letters and 3 numbers you could choose from. As I said, they've dropped the P now. Here currently registrations start with a 1, and I believe we're up to 1H. So the car going past is a H, so it's a newer model. The other thing here in West Australia is, unlike the UK, the number plate stays with the car. If your car's unlicensed, you have to hand in your plates. You have to take your car then over the pits or a new car, and you get given a new set of number plates. So the number plates really don't have any significance to the age of the car. Occasionally country towns will have prefixes at the beginning, so MH, MG, things like that, PH, Port Hedland. But other than that, there's no significance on number plates. The other thing is that trailers and caravans all have to be registered and licensed separately, unlike the UK again, where you can just take your number plate off the back of your car, attach it to the back of a trailer, and off you go. So we've been live now for 44 minutes. I've done 61 kilometres in that 41 minutes. We're now on quarter of a tank. We were just above that. Hopefully everybody else in the world and even the people in the eastern states are staying safe. I think the world over is starting to get to where more and more people think it's safer to drive in four-wheel drives or SUVs or that type of thing. So Mandra's still not on the board yet. Still a lot of bush around because of the weather. It's coming up to snake season again, which when you go exploring abandoned and derelict places is not a good thing, especially when you wear thongs. We still see the odd kangaroo. Haven't seen an emu for a while. That weather seems to have changed. I've got the air conditioner on for the phone so I don't overheat, and even there the cloud cover changed, and even in the car it went suddenly cold. Even though I'm a POM, so originally from England, I love the warm weather. Give me the warm weather any time over the bloody cold. Okay, Safety Bay Road's now coming on the board. Keep left as much as possible because that's the law. Sadly, the clouds are out today. Mind you, over the ocean, so that way it's really just blue skies. Get in the road. It's one thing you don't want to see where cars start weaving all over the place. Cannot stand drink drivers. I'm not saying that car is a drunk driver, but not a lot of people know my wife and I also run/admin Justice for the Little Nate page on Facebook. Nate Dunbar was an 8-month-old baby that was in his cot asleep, and a reckless, careless, selfish, drunk driver, a woman, decided that she was going to drive home and turn right when there was no street, and as a result, the street itself is a dual carriageway, so it's got an island in the middle which has curbs as well. She mounted the island, went over that, went over the next 2 lanes, went up a curb to get onto sort of a landscaped area, so to speak, went through a fence and ended up crashing into Nate's bedroom and landed on top of him. And that woman's now out living her life like nothing's happened. She's changed her name. She hasn't come out public ever and said, you know, please don't do it, it's not worth it, whatever. In fact, most of her time in prison she spent in a almost a halfway home type thing. It was almost like, I guess to some people's lifestyles, it was a resort. All the lovely things to do. Got to see her kids regularly and everything else. So yeah, poor old Nate. Sadly, we know another family too. A young woman and her 2 children had just left her mum's house and the kids' grandmother's house, and a drunk driver, an Asian that was here on a working visa, I believe, came down the wrong side of the road and crashed into her car. The 2 kids were severely, well, the daughter was severely hurt, broken bones. Sadly, the mum passed away as a result of it. And this is the thing, it's not worth it. One for the road, just down the road, whatever, it's just an excuse. If you plan to have one drink, don't drive whatsoever. The bigger picture is you could lose your job, lose your home, lose your family, lose your loved one. That's on your side, let alone what you do to somebody else. only service centre that we have here in Western Australia. We don't have petrol service stations, or servos as we call them, and food locations that are just off the freeway that you can go straight back onto. Must be the only one. Red Rooster and McDonald's in there as well as the service station. K's done in 52 minutes so far. There's another number plate, it's a personalised plate where you can actually get X amount of characters. I think they're, well, they used to be about $500. Mind you, if you get the right number plate, then you can just about ask whatever you want and sell it privately. The train station or train line has now gone a different route. That's heading towards Rockingham, I think. Semi-rural to a certain extent. We've gone up to 110k limit on the speed limit. I wouldn't even pronounce that word. Bush still around. Perth Hills, Jarrahdale. One called Jarrahdale, Perth Hills. So the hills too, where they took Green Mountain, 2J, Parkerville, Stoneville. Randra's on the board, 23 kilometres away. Bunbury, 123 kilometres. I didn't realise Bunbury wasn't really that far because we've already done it 81 kilometres. Just down the road, that's what it is. Oh look, classic car spotto. Is it a 2-door or a 4-door? I don't know if I've ever seen a 2-door in person. Original Range Rover. And it is a 2-door. do have rest spots along the way. Stop with fatigue and then get out, have a stretch. And we're 6 kilometres away now. So 60 minutes we've been live for, 88 kilometres. So that's what's that, quick math, averaged in 88 kilometres an hour. Normal metropolitan speed limits of 50 kilometres an hour. And then the normal like Jura carriageways is usually 70 to 80 kilometres an hour. Freeways normally 100. Certain sections are 80. And then like here's 110. Still 13, yeah, back there it said 6. Anybody watching this now from this to hear this is going to have to have watched 63 minutes of the car drive. So unless you jump on live you won't hear it now, but we appreciate everything everybody does for us. Shares our videos around, makes comments, likes them, subscribes to the channel, hits the notification bell. said that, someone just jumped on. Oh, I have to remember where that is. We're almost at our destination now. And they're gone. Halloween Festival, King Carnival. That's where we're headed. The train line being picked up again now. We'll come into Mandurah train station. There's the afternoon here. Sky's cleared up now. It's pointing more towards the ocean, I think, now. Lovely blue skies. Fishing Mandurah. A lot of people live here now. It used to be a heyday of almost a holiday getaway place, caravan parking, and long weekend destinations. To Rockingham, straight on for Bunbury. an engine mount that needs replacing, so if I leave it in gear, it'll vibrate too much. Don't drink, don't drive tailored. I believe that's Mandurah train station coming up on the right. Leads up these traffic lights. Yeah. So that's the end of the line for that train. I just drove, I'm just about to click over 70 minutes. And I could have caught that train all the way down from where I live. I could have walked to the train station from there. So far I've done 101 kilometres. Probably used $20 of fuel. Lovely skies. Bit of cloud cover to the left there. Hey Siri, what is the time?
It's 3:01 p.m.
I've done this road a couple of times in a car. I've done it a few times by push bike. another Holden dealership still going, Mandurah. So our local Clarkson Holden still going, Mandurah Holden's going. A lot of them have closed down or renamed or rebranded since the Holden car company is no longer in existence at this time. Almost at our destination. Hi dude, can you see on the screen? And we have reached our destination. Thank you to everyone that watched, that jumped on. Skip when you want. Love you all. See ya.